Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys in California. Before I begin, give all praise to the Most High, Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who was wisdom? Who was the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. I pray that the Most High blesses this lesson this evening, gives more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past in order to understand the events that are currently happening on the earth. So we get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. Brethren, it was a beautiful day yesterday. Beautiful evening if you guys got a chance to see the Great Conjunction. And knowing that we're moving into our time. And we need to continue to pray, because I know the conjunction goes on for at least 2 to 3 days. Not sure it goes on until the 24th or 25th. But we are to continue to pray, make our supplications to the Most High, because he's moving in our favor. And I love it when you get the scoffers who already come out, oh, it's the 21st is come and gone and nothing's changed. See, that's how the Most High exposes people's heart. See, there are some people that are in the truth just in case things go bad, but they're not really in this truth. You know, I said, just in case the Most High is real, I want to make sure I'm kind of in with these guys. But as soon as things might not look, it doesn't look right, I'm going to jump off and be a scoffer, which is funny, which is, please do that. I'm used to seeing that all the time. The Most High is already making huge moves. That's what we're going to be talking about today. He's already moving. And see, we already know that this is going to be it's 2 or 3 days of us continuously praying. It gives us more of an opportunity to go to the Father. It gives us more opportunity to keep praying to the Most High. For him to sit there and get ready to move on our behalf. If we prayed last night, let's continue doing it again today, and for the next couple of days. And I heard that something else is going on even after Christmas. But this is a great time for us to, definitely make our will and what we would love, to see happen known to the Most High. Yeah, I just saw a couple of videos kind of talking about the whole thing, and it's funny because they're the whole black people getting superpowers. See, you already know right then when you start hearing that kind of stuff about all black people are going to get superpowers, you already know that comes from the enemy. What did he do when we came into this truth? All black people in America are Jake. All Negroes are this. All Mexicans are that. All Brazilians. See, he deals with absolutes and big groups of people. All black people came from Africa. See, those are all things that who made up? Esau, okay? And the Gentiles. That's what they do. So they make it seem like, all black people get superpowers on December 21st. So that then when that doesn't happen like that, see, you guys didn't know what the hell you guys were talking about. See, and then all the scoffers come out. Hey, it's all set up. It's very easy to see. But we're going to talk about what the Most High has been doing over the last day or two. Did you guys hear about all the stuff going on right here? Mutant COVID strain has spread across the entire country. Already, new data reveals. Okay? The mutant strain of coronavirus is in England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. That right there should pique your interest. Where this is beginning. Where this new mutant strain is beginning. Okay? It says with more than 60% of new cases in London being caused by the ORF1 AB and N genes variant. They're using the words like mutant, mutating, changing. What are we doing as a people? Are we not mutating right now, changing right now in the spirit world? Are we already making these kinds of changes? You think this stuff is an accident? Where it's beginning? Who? They're talking about mutating. says we as a people are mutating, we're changing, we're reverting back to our original status. And right when, the conjunction happens, this starts to come out. You think this is an accident. See, this is what happens when you don't read anything outside of the Bible. See, we already know that Paul went to these lands, to those lands that are referred to right there, to see his brethren. His brethren was on these lands as well. We're going to get into the whole thing with the ley lines. See, this is why they got to give us the ley lines. See, when people are thinking everything is about what happens just right here, they did much dirt on these lands to our people. And he's starting even more destruction, okay, in those lands, in England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. If you don't have, see, that's why the Most High had to give us these books in October, so we can get an understanding of in October, November, and December. So now the Grand Conjunction starts to begin, and if things didn't start exactly right here, oh, you guys are going off. You guys don't know what you're talking about. But then the Most High has this crazy mutating virus that's causing people to go crazy over there, starting right around our Grand Conjunction, the Great Conjunction. But see, most people won't see that. They won't make that connection because they're only concerned with what? Africa and here. They won't make the connections between the other nations and the destruction that the other nations did to us on our lands over there as well. And then they're trying to make it seem as if, well, we're pretty sure that the vaccine will work on this new strain. And you're going to realize, I'm going to show a little video clip, that unless they test, they have no idea. But what do they have to do? They have to keep the sheep asleep. Oh, don't worry. If you take the vaccine, it works against every strain, any strain. How has that ever worked out in history? How has one flu shot protected you from all different strains of the flu? It doesn't. So now when they're sitting here saying these things alone, oh, we're pretty sure it's going to work. Let you know they have no idea what the hell they're talking about. And they're just saying whatever they want to say in order to supplicate the masses. They're trying to just keep the sheep asleep. And then many countries are trying to stop travel between the UK and these other countries. Not America. Keep them coming. Keep it. We're going to have a discussion about maybe making them take tests when they get here. and these people came and originated from those lands, and they came over here and started still in the lands and everything else in 1619, 1620 again. So he's starting this new strain over there where they originated from, that was a jumping off point to come in over here to the fourth part. Well, see, people who don't understand that those are our lands and those are our people were being destroyed over there already won't make that connection. Most High says he's going to sweep off our lands. He's going to sweep these people off of our lands. Our lands are not just the Americas. There's other lands as well that they stole and built on our ley lands, our ley lines. So when the Most High makes big moves, many people who are stuck in just one book or think they know everything won't pick up on what's going on. And they'll be quick to scoff, which means that they're just going to show their ass real quick. And the Most High is just going to be marking them. And that's exactly what's going on. Most High is just marking people right now. Letting us see real quick, who's really down with the truth and who's not. So if you don't think that these things are happening, like, these viruses changing, we already knew they're going to mutate and they're going to change. What do you think is just a coincidence that all of a sudden they barely get their vaccines out? They're rolling them out. They're talking about how they have all this faith in these vaccines and how these vaccines are going to be their way to normalcy. Vaccines going to be their pathway back to normalcy by the summer. Most High said, no, not so quick there. And then all of a sudden, this new variant comes out of the woodworks. You think that's on accident? And it was like all these millions of people trying to run away and get out of certain parts of the UK so they wouldn't be under such stringent lockdowns. And many of them are just going worldwide. And what are they trying to say? Oh, well, we don't know if it's even here. But then I was listening to a news show, and they were pretty much saying that it's even harder to detect. So, a lot of these tests won't even really easily detect the new variant or new strain. So it could be here, and they don't even know it because it's more difficult for them to figure it out. So if it's making those kinds of changes, it's making it so it's a more lethal strain, more difficult to detect, easier to spread, all right around the time that they had spent all this money and all this time developing a vaccine. But see, that's how the Most High makes it. You guys think that you're going to figure it out. You're going to figure out the Most High. You're going to figure it all out. You're going to be able to return back to normalcy. And then bam, he changes it up on you. And they're not going to say anything. They're not going to tell you to the last minute that, if this vaccine is going to work or not. They're trying to figure out if it's going to work on the regular, strain. They don't even know if it's going to work on that one. So how in the hell are they going to be so for sure it's going to work on another different mutating strain of the vaccine of COVID or of the plague? Let's go ahead and check this out here real fast from MSNBC, okay? And you're going to listen to the the one he has on, the lady he has on the panel, and she's going to be breaking some things down to you. She's going to be telling you some truth. They bring in their guests and everything else, and like I said, I've seen her many times, but she's going to be telling you some truth about this vaccine, about this new strain, and what they're telling you about it.
The all-new Mustang Mach-E. President-elect Joe Biden got his first dose of the Pfizer coronavirus vaccine today, live on television. Here in New York, healthcare workers started getting the second approved vaccine. That's the one from Moderna. And there's a lot of optimism in the air around the vaccine, as we got 2 now circulating. It was tempered, I got to say, for me, by news out of England, where an apparently highly contagious new strain of the virus helped nearly double the rate of infections there in the past couple of weeks. Question now, so how worried should we be about this new strain? And also, the vaccine is still going to protect us from that, right? There's perhaps no one I'd rather talk to right now to help answer some of those questions than Pulitzer Prize-winning science writer Laurie Garrett, columnist at Foreign Policy Magazine and author of The Coming Plague, Newly Emerging Diseases in a World Out of Balance. All right, Laurie, let's start with the mutation that is in the UK. Is it real? And do we know that it is contributing to a much higher rate of transmission?
So, Chris, I have to give you very bad news. This is the 4th mutation event that is significant, apparently, in the transmission of the virus. The first big mutational event occurred after the virus jumped to Italy sometime in February or March. And it was that very transmissible strain that made its way to New York and the East Coast of the United States. The second mutational event occurred this summer when the virus somehow got into mink in mink farms. This is the animal that makes fur coats in Denmark and elsewhere, and now also in mink populations in North America. And that strain can spread to people from minks. It's not clear whether it goes from people to minks, but presumably that's how it originally got in the mink population. The third one appeared in October in South Africa, and it is a significant change. It seems to make the virus more transmissible, and there are some indications from the South African Ministry of Health just today that it may also be more virulent in young adults. It's spreading faster in younger adults, and it seems to cause more severe disease in younger adults. And then we have the British one, which was first noticed apparently in September. It has really swept the UK over the last 3 weeks. It now accounts for about 40% roughly of new cases in the UK, and seems to be about 71% more transmissible from person to person compared to the routine strains of COVID-19 or SARS-CoV-2. So yeah, there's a lot to think about here. Are we looking at something that's more dangerous? If these estimates of its rate of reproduction hold up, and it's now several different laboratories and research organizations confirming what the British originally said, that their strain is reproducing much faster, log scale faster than the routine spread COVID strains. If that holds up, then we may or may not be looking at a more virulent strain, but we're certainly looking at a faster spreading strain. One set of studies seem to indicate that once people are infected, their bodies actually start producing far more virus, at least a log scale more virus. And so they're shedding more virus. They're more likely to be infectious to people around them.
So this is just a graphic that sort of gives you a sense of how this has happened in the UK. This chart shows sort of how over time this strain has become more and more dominant. You see that the prevalence of that orange variant growing over time. So then the big question becomes the vaccine, right? So my understanding from the reporting that I've done over these last few months and talking to virologists, right, is that this coronavirus is relative to, say, flu is fairly stable. And that has been useful in sort of designing the vaccine. We've already started to see mutations. What do we think that portends for the vaccine?
Right now, the general statement that's being made by all parties associated with health departments and so on is looks like the vaccine will be fine and this is going to work out just fine. But we don't actually have data one way or the other to answer that question. It is interesting that the UK studies on using the routine nucleic acid tests that a lot of places are using.
They have no data. So now they can just say whatever they want, and they have nothing to prove that it's true. See, that's just like what they've been doing in the churches. No proof, no data, nothing to prove what they're saying. Now it's just, it's all over the place. But something to sit there and make those kinds of statements like, oh, well, we think it'll work. We think it'll be okay. But but they don't say that, hey, they don't qualify that with, we don't have any data to prove it. They just say, yeah, we think everything's going to be okay. But we have no proof. We haven't done the data. We haven't done the testing. They do the same thing even with, the vaccine and how it's going to deal with this virus. Because, there's many groups that they did not test it on, and now it's having adverse effects to certain people. So now let's check this part out.
To see whether or not you're infected are missing this new virus if they are tests that target the so-called S protein, which is the spike that you see sticking up out of all the little this sort of ball-shaped virus with these little spikes sticking out. And that S protein is the key mutational event that seems to make this more transmissible, because that protein is what logs onto a human cell and then opens a door, and then the virus goes into your cell. Well, it's also what your antibodies recognize. And, it does appear that at least those kind of PCR tests that specifically target finding that S protein are missing a lot of the English infections. And they are advising that you use a broader PCR analysis that looks for more elements of the virus. Oh, wow. And that, that's a little disturbing.
A little disturbing, huh? Hold on real fast. Trying to get this to move. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. So now that was just a little bit about this new strain, a little bit of information. It's, making people sick much quicker, 70% more. Okay. That's what they were saying before. It's causing 70% more people to get infected. Now they're saying also that you're having a harder time finding it, having a much more difficult time locating this new virus. Much easier to spread. Now, we know to look for the Most High, in everything. So when the Grand Conjunction took place last night, and we were out there praying, and we were praying all evening long, and asking the Most High, for Him to listen to us and to deliver, and bring that covenant back with us once again. Well, now we got to look around to see where He's working, what He's doing. Can't always just be right here. Look around to different places. That's what you're supposed to do, because we're looking for the Most High working. So now we start to look at, okay, all of a sudden this new strain pops up. People are trying to, hightail it out of the UK. They're trying to get out of certain areas. And we're already overwhelmed here as a people. They started giving a lot of healthcare workers, the vaccine over here. People are getting sick over here. Some people are not being able to return back to work. So if you got a somewhat weaker strain over here, and it's overrunning our hospitals, overrunning our healthcare facilities, they give you a vaccine that's making certain people sick. Furthering along the, bringing down the hospitals, weakening them, wearing out the staff, as they should be. I mean, they've been working at this for a very long time. You got the Thanksgiving surge barely coming online right now. And then you go couple that with Christmas. They said that it's been almost pretty much on average 1 million people going through the TSA screening process in the last 4 days. We haven't even gotten to Christmas yet. That's just people, 1 million plus a day going, on planes. Then you got people who are just in their cars going places. Couple that with all these people going shopping for Christmas. Bring all that now. You sit there and you look at all these different things. You don't think the Most High is working? When people sit there and say, "Oh, you didn't do this, didn't happen," I'm like, the Most High is setting the stage. The Most High is setting up this transition. Now we're still 3 days till Christmas, and they're gonna have many of these people travel back. I mean, just imagine what this is gonna look like. I mean, it's looking horrible as it is, but just imagine how much worse it's gonna be in the next couple weeks, few months. Now all of a sudden, on top of the people's actions here and how they're already making it worse, then couple that now with a new strain that they can't really find as well or as easily, that is much easier to spread the virus. You see how this is all taking place, how this is all coming together as the perfect storm. So now take a look here. The Ley Hunter's Companion, okay? Aligned Ancient Sites, a new study with field guide and maps. Now, I'm just going to show you a couple of the pages. You guys can read them on your own. But the point is that these people, these other nations, came to our lands over there in what they call now the UK or Britain, Ireland, Scotland. Those are all our lands. They took those as well. They hid all that information. So this is all part of prophecy as well. So people can sit there and say everything is fake. I care less. Their kingdom is being torn down. They can say this information is fake too. The ley lines are fake also. The Most High is saying that He was going to recompense them for everything they've done to us. Well, that kind of makes sense that these things would start to pick up over there as well. The Most High is playing chess. The other nations aren't even playing checkers at this point. So they can't save themselves. What would make anybody think that a nation of people who cannot, buckle down when tough times come, who cannot, do things to help each other, deserves a vaccine that's supposed to make everything normal so they can go back to their lives? Who in their right minds think that these people deserve a vaccine to have them go back to their lives? Lives of, fake holidays, priests and pastors who lie to them, who don't tell the truth, people who have put our people under their boots for them to be able to enjoy themselves, set up unjust weights. So is that why you guys think you get to continue? You get to go back to normal? You think you've earned that? Just look at the way the people act in a society. They could care less about others. They don't want to be inconvenienced. They faked all the history. They lied about absolutely everything. So now that we understand, and I see, look how it works out so beautiful with the Most High. He gave us this understanding a couple of months before the conjunction, so that once these things started to happen, even over in our lands over there, we would understand why. Without this information, we would not really it'd be hard to put two and two together, because we didn't realize that, those lands over there, Britain, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, those are our lands. We wouldn't understand that, so we wouldn't put two and two together. So the Most High had to build up our knowledge and understanding for a time, so that when He starts to actually do these things and execute His plan over there, we would understand that that is the Most High. And He's also moving there for us. So right here, got London, Strand Ley right here. You can actually read it on your own. But there's some of our ley lines right there. They took it over, built on top of it, took the history as theirs, made it seem like they've always been there. Most High knows they don't belong there. That's why the Most High is going to sweep them off the lands. This conjunction is for them too. It's not just for the the Gentiles here in America. This is for the Gentiles worldwide. That was their jumping off point. That we're the military wing, and the British over there, they are the banking wing of the eagles, the three-headed eagle, that you read about in the Esdras. United States is that military. Britain is the banking. The Vatican is the religious wing. See, that's why they get their obelisks and everything else. They're like separate from the countries that they are actually, residing in. I said because they're the three eagles. So I would, I wouldn't bet on, like, what is it? The Vatican getting away with anything. I'm sure they're going to be getting some stuff going on over there with them too. They're like the chief head though. So Most High's already getting at the other two. But the chief one, the religious organization, the Vatican area, they're going to get it too. So right here, you got the Strand Ley of London. So they got the ley lines right here of this one street here. So just to show you, that they were the ones that went there, took over our lands, and took over the religious. Well, they took over these lands right here, and they built on top of them. Took over our sacred sites and built on top of them. So they got to get it too, right? They don't get a pass. You got right here, second page. You guys can check it out. A little more information. You got another one right here. Canterbury Ley in Kent. So you got some more information. You guys can check those out as well. But just showing you how they've still, just giving you proof of how they took over our land, built on top of it, and made it seem as if they were there the whole time. Most High's got to get at them for that too. So you people that are over there, Canterbury, okay, Plan of the City, 1588, area view of Canterbury right there, and more information right there. So when you start seeing these things happen in other places, you'll understand why. They did wrong by our people. They destroyed our people. Most High said we're going to be scattered all over the world. So that would mean that there's going to be destruction everywhere. And it's not just floods and bad weather. That's part of it, but we got to understand why. We got to understand that these are our lands. Paul, that's why do you think that they hid? Now it makes more sense as to why they hid Acts 29. Paul going to Britain. We know he was talking to the Druids, and the Druids were the brothers of Paul. They were Israelites. That's why all this information is so important. That's why the ones who are so quick to try to scoff don't know what the hell they're talking about. They don't understand that the Most High brings judgment in many different ways, in many different levels. And he raises us up in many different levels. See, he's raising us up spiritually first. He's raising up our understanding first. Then it will manifest here in the physical realm. See, people who are still scoffing about, it was not black people are going to be the ones that are going to be these superpowers. The chosen of the Most High are going to be getting powers. It wasn't that they didn't have them before. If all you got to do is read, in the Bible about David and his mighty men, you start reading in Jasher, and you start looking at all the feats that they were doing, jumping over walls, having that lion roar that, made all the women in the city of Egypt abort their babies at one time, picking up huge rocks and having battles with the Canaanites. So the power is coming, but the Most High is giving it to us in stages. There's a reason why, like I said, we got this information in October, getting us ready for today. So scoffers, please keep scoffing and see what the Most High does to you. So he got a little something for you too. It's best just to keep your mouth shut and look for the Most High. Pray for the Most High to open your eyes and give you that knowledge and understanding of what's going on. See, the vast majority of the world is not going to pick up the fact that the Hebrew Israelites had lands over there in Europe, had lands in Britain, Scotland, Ireland, Wales, that we were controlling that area. So now all of a sudden when this plague pops up over there, they're not going to make that connection between the Hebrew Israelites and the plague switching from them over to the Gentiles. People are not going to make that connection. They're just going to be quick to say, oh, nothing happened here, so therefore you must be wrong. Okay. We'll keep on praying. I just love the way the Most High quickly already answered our prayers and already started scattering the people off of our lands over there in Europe as well. And he's scattering them with whatever, strain they have. They're scattering all over the world. And then the United States is not letting them, it's still letting them in. So, they're coming here as well. And they're going to be coming here to a weakened American society, a weakened medical system, a weakened people that are actually, staffing these medical centers who are getting sick, taking this vaccine. We know other people are getting sick as well, but everything is just, not working the way that the Gentiles thought it was going to work. They thought it was going to be nice and easy, come up real quick with a vaccine in a few months, and then, and everything's going to be better. No, things are going to get nothing but worse because the time of your blessing is over, and the time of and the time of our blessing has arrived. So I hope you guys all see it, and we just be quick to, don't be so quick to, think about certain things or to try to say if something's working or not. The Most High is not that simple. When he gave them powers, were they able to take over everything the first day? No, of course not. It takes time. The Most High was working his plan. And that's exactly what we're waiting for. The Most High to work his plan for us. He worked the plan for them. He worked the plan for the Gentiles. They had their opportunity to run everything, to set up their sacred sites on our sacred sites. They had the opportunity to, hide history, hide everything for themselves. They had their time to, switch everything around and have us go into their sacred sites and give them energy. But then, as we know, this great conjunction shows up the first day. People are like, "Oh, look, nothing happened," because that just shows you how simple people are, acting like things are supposed to happen just at a snap of a finger. Most High is going to enjoy this destruction of the other nations. That's what he says in what is it, Proverbs 1. Read it. He laughs at their calamity. He's laughing at the calamity right now. And this is just the first day of forever. So you got to look at it. This is the first day of eternity. This is the first day of the Most High coming, bringing us back to him and saying we're never going to be going through those kinds of things again, those curses again. So just slow down and enjoy. I had a great day yesterday. Fasting, felt great. And just, getting that mental clarity the Most High gives. Just, able to enjoy the Most High, go out for a ride, just listen to some good music, and just thinking about the Most High, thinking about the beautiful things he's going to do for us and he's already doing for us. And then all of a sudden in the evening, people are all talking about this UK strain and everything else, but they won't make that historical, that historical connection. Most High's got to take care of our lands over there as well. All praise is to the Most High, Yahweh. Acknowledgement of the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledge Yahweh Shai. Brethren, make sure you continue praying. This conjunction is still going on. Let's take full advantage of all the time that we have to pray and come before the Most High and pray for him to restore our nation, our people, our land, our animals, our air, our water, absolutely everything. Shalom, family.